Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now in this video, I want to talk about how much I think properties are going to crash in 2023. Now the reason for this video is I made a video on this last month and obviously things change. And so I want to get an updated outlook as we go through the year. I think it's going to be interesting to document it as things progress. Are they getting better? Are they getting worse? And what's my opinion on it? You see, a lot of the videos on this channel we're talking from various news sources. So for example, we'll say Nationwide is saying house prices are up or down. Halifax, Zoopla, Rightmove, the Bank of England details and stuff like that. And a lot of those comments that I see, people are saying, one day you're saying house prices are going up, the next day you're saying they're going down. So these videos, I think I'm going to add in as a monthly basis, just to give you my thoughts on the process. So before we jump into that, our goal this month, collectively, I can't do this alone, is to get 100,000 views on the channel. And I want to ask you a quick favor to help me get there. All you need to do is smash that like button, because that really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification. We've got new content every single day, so I'm sure you're going to learn something while you're here. So, what do I think? Well, look, this has been a real tough one to predict. And if I think back to the pandemic, I remember when we went into lockdown, I have a business coaching, so I coach business owners, and they all panicked. A lot of them just absolutely freaked out. Of course they would. Some of them are physical stores, even e-commerce stores. They were scared because they couldn't get stock. And if they couldn't get stock, they couldn't sell. Were they allowed into their warehouse to even ship the stuff? It was just a really strange time. And I remember thinking about my properties at that time, thinking, this can't be good. This really, really can't be good. Like, surely house prices are going to crash if we're in a lockdown. And initially, prices did go down. And so for a short period of time, a month or so, there was a big drop in house prices. However, then something strange happened. And because we had a couple of lockdowns, people wanted bigger properties. Also, because, I don't know whether you agree or not, but the government did get money to people, right? And so businesses had bounce back loans. That stopped a lot of them going bust. We had the furlough scheme. That definitely, I mean, my friends that have businesses, if it wasn't for the furlough scheme, they would have made most of their staff redundant. They just didn't have funds to keep them going for months on end without any revenue coming in. So these schemes obviously propped up the economy. Now we're paying for that now with inflation, but at the time they did keep the country going, and that kept the housing market going. And so during the pandemic, house prices went through the roof, and I was trying to find deals. It was really hard to find deals because people had big lumps of cash. Some business owners, not that they should have, but they took these bounce back loans and invested in property. And so you'd go to an auction and there'd be a house on there with a guide of 100, which means that it would probably go for like 140, 150, and they were going for nearly 200, which was the true market value. There was no deals anywhere, not even in the auctions. And so we managed to get one property at an auction during that time. We got some others off-market deals and stuff like that, but it was really, really strange. And so the market went crazy high, and when anything goes up really fast, often it comes down pretty quickly as well. So right now, we're in a really turbulent time, aren't we? We've got high inflation. We've had inflation that was over 10% for a long time. Now it's at 7.9. This month it's expected to go to 7. And by Christmas, it's expected to go to 4.9. So there's still some way for that to happen and go. Now, all of this added up with the 14 consecutive Bank of England interest rate raises that we've had, it just makes sense that house prices go down. And I think that they are going to go down. And so back end of last year, we did see some drops. That was mainly because of the mini budget. And at that time, lots of lenders pulled mortgages for a short period of time. and they put their rates way above 6% really early. And that was just because they didn't think the government had a clue what they were doing. And so they just erred on the side of caution and just wanted to basically stop lending. That caused property prices to drop October, November, December last year. And when we look at prices on an annual basis, the new data says that we're down around 3.8%, I think it is. Most of that is from October, November, December. So as we get to the end of this calendar year, around 3%, that's going to drop off on an annual basis. So when I'm talking about house prices, I'm talking in the calendar year 2023, so from January. Now, if we look at the prices from January so far, it's pretty much been a flat market. We've had some 0% months. We've had some months where it's gone up 0.1%. We've had some months where it's gone down 0.1%. We've had this month's data, the July data, and we're in August, but we obviously have to finish the month. So the July data, the data was 0.2 down, but that was adjusted for inflation. So, that was adjusted for seasonality. So it was really a 0.5% drop there. So all in all, we are a good chunk of the way through 2023 and we haven't seen the prices move. Now, what will happen is there are deals going through now that people will have started in April, May, June that could be considerably less. But the property market is so slow. That's the key thing here. So I was saying for a big chunk of the year, I thought house prices were going to drop 8%. Last month, I revised it down to 6%. And that wasn't because I'm not saying prices are going to go down. It's just I feel in this calendar year, it's not going to be as big as that. Now, I've changed my mind again. I think we're more likely looking at a 5% drop in 2023. Just to be clear, before you kill me in the comments, 2023 prices, in my opinion, are going to drop at 5%. Now, nobody has a crystal ball. I mean, I read every article I can on the property market, interest rates. I've got my own properties, so I've got a vested interest in them not going down, of course. I'm not an economist, but this is just what I feel. I feel that the prices, if there's a bigger drop, I think you'll see that more in 2024. I think it's going to take even longer than people think. Now, the reason for that is that people have just come out of the market. And so listings are down massively. Inquiries into estate agents are up slightly recently as well. And we're not seeing asking prices significantly reduced. Now, some of you will always comment on this and say, in my area, house prices have got all these reductions. That's normal. It just didn't happen for the last 2 years because we were in such a hot market. You'll always see in a normal market around 20 to 25% of the market reduced, right? So that's just got us back to a normal market where we want to see. So are those going to be big discounts? Possibly, right? If someone's knocked 10 grand off their house, they're probably expecting to take 20 grand off the house when that happens. We just got a deal agreed this week, which I'm going to be showing you around and the refurb that we do and stuff like that. That property was on the market for £170,000 and we offered 118 cash. We tried to get it on a lease option. I mentioned that a few times. I was going to be securing it on a lease option. They were interested. Then they got a bit scared of the lease option. They wanted their money today, basically. It's a probate sale, meaning they've inherited the property. They don't really understand investing. They just want money in their pocket. And so we went in with 118 cash. They countered with 120. We've taken that. And that property should be bought by the end of August because it's a cash deal. It's pretty fast. The only thing that might slow it up is the probate part of it. So look, it's interesting, the market. There is a hell of a lot going on for sure. Definitely there's a lot that we've got to consider in all of this. But I just feel that the market is moving far slower than people are expecting. Transactions are taking a long time. People aren't desperate yet. They've got options. They can go interest only, they can extend their loan, or they can just sit in the place that they've got until they get desperate. which will happen if we get big unemployment next year, then we'll revise it. So we'll keep updating this, but I want to know, what do you think? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinion in the comments below. So I've revised my price. I've said 8% at the beginning of the year. I've revised that down to 6%. But now I don't think it's even going to be 6%. I think it's going to be closer to 5%. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do smash the like button, guys, on the video. Do subscribe and hit the bell. Check out all the other content. We want to get to 100,000 views on the channel. So why don't you go and watch this video right here.